Hey, hi, hello. My name's Isaiah. Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, this isn't the normal horror type video. If it was, you'd probably see a brand new intro, the fourth one that I created in a matter of weeks. And you would probably be experiencing some pretty creepy tangents that have been going on, seemingly not relevant to the story in which I am about to tell. But today is different. Today, we are going to look at something truly and utterly horrifying. Beware. Truly beware. Jason Blum is reviving the Blair Witch Project for Lionsgate. Now, I know what you're saying, Isaiah. Hey, this is not new news. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm late to the party. But guess what? I had my mood spoiled because I got this brought to my attention. And I'm going to talk about why I think it's a pretty shitty idea. This was April 10th of 2024. It is a little bit further than that in the year. So, if you guys don't know, the Blair Witch Project is probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Probably, it's top 3 horror movies of all time. It's top 2 scary movies that scared me. And I love it. It's very endearing. I know it's incredibly divisive and I don't care, but I'm going to shout my opinion. That is fact. It's good. So here are the reasons why I think that this is kind of a bad idea, and it ironically has nothing to do with the fact that it's being rebooted. Let's take a look at Blumhouse Films. Blumhouses? Let's take a look at their website. So, yeah, they just started like a brand new game stuff, which is pretty cool. I want this in no means for me to be bashing Blumhouse at all, because I do appreciate Blumhouse. I think Blumhouse has been making relatively smart and creative horror films the last couple of years, and I like it. Their top one is Speak No Evil, which is a remake of a movie that came out like 2 years ago. That's a bad start, but I've heard really good things about this movie. I've also heard really bad things about this movie. I haven't watched it yet. But if we look down, of course, Five Nights at Freddy's. So, I had this idea that maybe Blumhouse would take the Five Nights at Freddy's film and make it like their thing. Like, that's their cash cow. For some reason, they're going all in on Megan, which Megan's a good movie, but interesting that they're going in on Megan. If you go on their Instagram, it's like nothing but Megan stuff for some reason. Anyway, I thought that Five Nights at Freddy's would probably be their go-to cash cow. They'd probably make a shit ton of films, and then they would just reap in all the money, and Jason Blum would do the thing off of where he dives into the change, and he's swimming, and he comes back up, and he's spitting the gold out. That's what I think Jason Blum would be doing. Far have we come from the Jason Blum and Blumhouse, who created Paranormal Activity. Can we have that back, please? I'd like that. It seems like everywhere you go, and it seems like every horror film that you see in a trailer, it's probably produced by Blumhouse. And that's not really a bad thing, but I don't think it's a good thing either. Take a look at their movie. They did Amityville: The Awakening. They did that movie? They did it? Oh boy. Now, of course, Blumhouse isn't to blame for most of these movies being bad, and some of them, I would say not even most of these are bad. I'd say the majority of them are probably okay. They had their Halloween, fuck you. I'm kidding. Anyways, back to the article. The Chicken Big Mac is not a Big Mac. Horror maestro Jason Blum is reviving the Blair Witch Project for Lionsgate. It's a fitting pair because Blumhouse is known for its low-budget approach to terror. It's funny, Blumhouse was known for that like 10 years ago. What Blumhouse does really well is they can pump out movies like Mormon Children. I'm allergic to all these damn Blumhouse movies. But, like, take a look at Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity was such a good, simplistic horror. And that's something that Blumhouse just doesn't do nowadays. I'm not saying they're terrible, but I'm just saying it feels like the majority of their films are geared towards a specific audience. And when you look at Blair Witch, it's something that I feel like is a lot of simplicity, a lot of your own interpretation, and I feel like Blumhouse horror is here's the thing, here it is. I'm gonna bash you over the head with it several times until you understand what the story is about. You don't get it, you're stupid. But the thing that really, really bothers me, I think there's two things that bother me quite a lot. And the first one is that right here, Blum will team on the new Blair Witch project with producer Roy Lee, who previously produced the 2016 Blair Witch reboot. Why? That's what bothers me. That's the first thing that bothers me. No disrespect to Roy Lee, because he helped produce like The Boy and The Boy 2, and he did Barbarian. So like good films. He also did Polaroid, which was in development hell forever. That's a joke. That's a double entendre joke, because Polaroids take time to develop their photos. The 2016 Blair Witch movie isn't terrible, but I think it came from a conversation full of people who were like, things didn't happen in the Blair Witch project, so we need to make things happen in this reboot, which wasn't a reboot, it was a sequel. And I think that argument sucks. Every time I talk to somebody who says they don't like the Blair Witch project, it's always because they're bored. They've gotten bored in the movie or watching the movie. And I think that movie is such a good audio horror movie. I feel like if you don't have speakers, or like if you're not listening to it, you're missing a large you're missing a large portion of the horror movie. And I think that's arguably the scariest part of that movie. So that's what I like about it. It's so simple, and it taps into this audio side of this horror movie. To watch it in theaters would be insane. But then you went to the 2016 Blair Witch Project, and it was like, we're going to try to get away from the simplicity of a one camera shot, and we're going to give everyone found footage cameras so that we can get multiple shots, so that we can direct it like a normal movie. And it's like, the point of the movie is to make it realistic as possible. Like, to make it realism, like very realistic. Attach this to your ear, Sam. Hey, Sam, attach this to your ear so I can find my sister. Hey, Daniel. Make sure you get all the shots. Sam, look this way. They did some pretty cool stuff in the 2016 version. I really, really enjoyed the time manipulation in the forest. I think that's really cool. But they did so many things that are bad, and they made Blair Witch into a Blumhouse movie. And I don't want Blair Witch to be a Blumhouse movie. And I know I'm probably sitting on my soapbox, and I'm sounding like one of those people who's just like, back in my day, we didn't have reboots of movies that came out 2 years ago. We didn't, but we also had really shitty movies. So like, I think I'm okay with touting my favorite being a Blair Witch movie. I love it. It's great. Another thing that I really, really am nervous about is that when you think of the Blair Witch Project, it's basically the antithesis of a cash cow. It is a heartfelt passion project. You can tell it got a lot of money, that's for sure, but it didn't come from a lot of money. And that's what I really enjoy about that movie. It is a passion project, and the people who made it, you could tell that they really, really cared about the story. Down here, it says that Lionsgate currently operates a Blair Witch-themed escape room in Las Vegas, and it's called Escape Blair Witch. So the movie that is paying for this to be done is already banking on this being a box office success. And honestly, I don't know if it is. Like, Blair Witch 2016 was pretty good. Like, it was not movie-wise, but the turnout was really good. Because for the longest time, it was advertised as, like, the forest or the woods or something like that. And then they fucking switched up everybody. I don't know if that was, like, the point of it for a while. I don't know if it was supposed to be named. I gotta look that up. I'm curious. Yeah, see, I remember this. I remember watching the original trailer for the woods. I was like, that looks cool. And then I realized it was a Blair Witch Project. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know why. I didn't sound like that at all. Yeah, this is their first teaser. I remember this. But it was just to be a secret sequel. So, I don't know. I mean, I like Blumhouse. I think they do pretty good stuff, but I really don't think that they would do good with this. It seems like it's going to be a cash cow. It seems like it's going to be a bomb. And especially in a time where movies are, like, being heavily criticized by how shallow they are. Like, Tarot and, like, all of those, like, bad horror movies. Trap that came out. I know there's a lot of people who like Trap. Trap reminds me of, like, Malignant. Like, it's such a crazy movie. So I think it can get away with it. But, like, I don't know. In the day and age of people heavily criticizing horror movies, I don't think you could get away with it if it's not good. And if it's anything like 2016, I don't know if it's going to be popular. But that was a sequel, and this is apparently a reboot, so who knows? Maybe they're going to make a more modern version of the Blair Witch Project. I would say, Jason Blum, if you got the Blums, why don't you go after Friday the 13th? Get us a new Friday movie, man, because that's what we need. We need a new Friday movie. Anyway, I want to know what you think. I think that, like, A24 would be a really good studio to produce a Blair Witch Project film. They just have really good simplistic horror. And I think that would be a very, very good movie to do. Plus, they work a lot with indie directors. So, that would also just, like, it fits perfectly, right? But let me know what you guys think about this news, and let me know if you have, like, a director who would do well with this kind of movie, or even a film company that would produce it a lot better than Blumhouse. Or just tell me why I'm wrong in the comments below. But thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you guys stick around, because I really want to do more of this stuff. I'm working on a big horror project, a big analog horror project on a different channel, and I will tell you all of that information when it's time. So I'm really excited about that. And anyways, I hope you come back, and I hope to see you again. And bye-bye. Thank you for stopping by.